Today they're here with Manifesto to talk about how they've navigated going from YouTube to branching outside and creating their brand. And we have our artist relations, Malika Lord, MC.
Yo. It's been a while since I've been doing my thing, you know. She's back. Bad bitches in the room, bad bitches in the crew, bad bitches in the room. We chase the band, show the money up. We chase the band, show the money up. Bad bitches in the room, bad bitches in the crew, bad bitches in the room. We chase the band, show the money up.
Hi friends, it's your girl Nella Rose, and I want to give a big shout out to Worldwide Entertainment TV in Toronto.
What's up, K&R Squad? Let's go!
Asking my boyfriend to kiss me in the rain.
Baby, could you please kiss me in the rain?
What?
I need you to kiss me in the rain. I need us to lock lips.
In the rain?
Yes.
Wow.
Right now, before it stops.
Like the movies?
Yes.
All right, well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to our summit. I'm really excited for this conversation. And so I just want to get right into the nitty-gritty. You guys have over 3 million, followers and engagers on all your platforms. And so, I know it wasn't always like this. So take us back to, the inception, how you first started. What was life like before Kristen and Reafe was Kristen and Reafe?
Life was crazy. We were working a 9-to-5 job, just like a lot of people. And I think one day I came to her and I said, well, really, to take it really far back, I was playing soccer my whole life growing up, and I wanted to be a professional soccer player. And when I finished university, I tried to go pro, and it didn't work out. So she always wanted to be an actress, an actor. And I said, you know what, my dream didn't work out, so maybe hers can. And I pushed her towards it. And what would I say? I said, hey babe, let's do some YouTube videos. And she was like, nah, I don't want to be out there like that. She was a little bit nervous, and I kind of just said, you know what, let's just try. Believe in me. I feel like this will work. And she trusted in me, and we did it. And this is where we are right now, right? So that's where it really started.
Okay, cool. And so, what inspired you to want to become an actress, and how do you think, to this day, you use those same skills, or you feel inspired by, your acting aspirations?
I think acting is just so cool for the fact that you can tell a story, and not just your own story, you can tell millions of stories. So you can become a character today, you can become a different character tomorrow. And I think with that mindset and for the love of storytelling, just bringing that to YouTube, being able to shoot videos and be relatable to all different types of people is what we were striving for, especially as a couple. So I think being a couple, shooting relatable couples content is just, it's cool because there's so many couples out in the world, and you don't only have to relate to the city of Toronto. It could be LA, it could be New York, it could be wherever you want to relate to, right? And I think that's really what keeps us going, especially with the love for storytelling. Just telling a story every single day.
Yeah. Okay. And one more question based off what you just said. So at first, you weren't for YouTube. What made you click, to say, okay, maybe I'll give this a try?
The thing that made me give it a try was really him. I think we both wanted to get out of our 9-to-5 daily jobs. It just wasn't working, and we weren't as happy as we could be. And to be honest, the reason why I didn't want to do YouTube was because acting is a little bit different, wherein you're not telling personal details of your own life. Like you're telling a different story. So YouTube for me was scary because I had to come out and tell people about myself and our relationship and our lives. And I was like, is people going to see this as something interesting? I think I'm boring. And then we hopped on YouTube, and the people is what kept us going, because they're like, you guys are lit, where did you come from? Wait, you guys are from Canada? You guys are from Toronto? Hold on a second. And then it just went up from there.
Okay, that's very cool. And now, as we know, you guys have so many followers and people look forward to your content. So in terms of like keeping your life private, how do you set those boundaries? And you know, what gauges you to like, I'll keep this and maybe I'll share this instead, right? Because it is your life in a sense.
Jeez. I feel like everybody knows so much about us, but we just try to be ourselves. That's the most important thing. We put everything out there because we treat our followers like our family, right? But very personal things, I would say, like, you know, you don't want to really show that stuff just because that's more personal. You don't want everybody to be in your relationship or trying to make decisions for you, so, yeah.
At this point, I feel like there's no boundaries. We've just shown so much, and I feel like people know so much about us. And yes, people do judge. You get negative comments all the time. I'll get DMs of people telling me, you know, you're so anorexic, go kill yourself. It's not pretty all the time. And so you might want to hold back information, but nowadays I'm just going at it with the mindset of this is who I am. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but this is who I am and I'm going to be who I am forever, so.
For sure. And I mean, I know everyone is on social media, right? And so what do you do personally to deal with those like negative comments and things that might not be as pretty?
Jeez, I love the negative comments. It makes me make more videos, makes me make more money, so that's what I do. I take those negative comments and make it positive. That's it.
Word.
And let's be honest here, when we first saw negative comments on our channel and every single platform that we have, he was going off on the people. Okay, he was like, you know, saying bad words and whatever, and he's like, go get a life and everything. But then we realized, because we're creating a brand for ourselves, we have to be more mindful of what we say.
Yeah, and you gotta realize if you're on social media, you gotta be hard-bodied, to be honest. Like, you're gonna get negative comments all the time. That's what some people just come on your page to be negative. But, I mean, you just can't worry about that stuff. They don't really have a life, and just keep pushing. That's it.
All right. So I'm going to shift a little bit to go right into your specific content. I know us in the office at Manifesto have been watching it leading up to this, having a blast. And so take us through the creative process from like the idea to the inception to the filming to the posting. What does that look like for you guys?
I think every single day is different. There's times when he'll create content and maybe he'll do a prank on me. I'm not involved in that because I don't know, right? And so every day is different, whereas if we're doing a video together, we'll try to think, okay, is this even interesting? Are people gonna be interested in what we have to say or what we have to do, and is it relatable? And I think for us especially, like being able to make people laugh and just to try to get people to engage with your content, I think you have to really be yourself.
Yeah, you gotta be yourself 100%.
Yeah, and so, to be honest, every single day is so different. But the main part is brainstorming. If you can't sit there and think about, okay, I'm gonna tell a story today. How do I say the intro? How do I do the body of the story? How do I do the ending? It's like you're writing an essay. So I see so much content online where maybe it's not doing so well because it doesn't tell a story. If you're trying to, I guess, inspire the masses or get your content out to a mass amount of people and they don't know you, if you're not being able to tell a story, it's not going to go anywhere. So.
Okay, very, very interesting. And what's your favorite video to date that you've released?
Honestly, we have so many videos, I don't even know which video is my favorite, but I don't even watch my videos, that's the biggest thing. After we edited, posted, I never watched them again. I find it pretty weird watching my own videos, so.
Okay, well, I watch everything. I'm just like, okay, let me see what I did good today, let me see what I did bad. But I would say my favorite video is when I did a possessed prank on him, and I was acting possessed. It was around Halloween time, and I think that's so fun because I was able to be a character, which I love to do, so.
That must have been intense.
It was. It definitely was, and he was very scared. But I mean, I love all of our videos, especially the ones with his mom involved.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with his mom, Mama Joan.
Mama Joan.
Let's go. So, I mean, every day you're able to shoot with your partner or your family is always a good time. So every video is our favorite, but I'd probably pick the possessed videos.
If I had to pick, I would say is our recent video. the twin brother prank. I think that was probably the best one.
Okay, so if you haven't watched those, go check them out. And I know for everyone it is different, but I guess you guys on this journey you've been on, if you could point out maybe 3 tips that worked for you specifically to really build and grow on, I know TikTok and YouTube are like your main platforms. So what did you do? Maybe it'll work with somebody else.
I would say consistency is the biggest thing in anything you do in life, especially with social media. You want to stay relevant, so you always want to be posting videos. When we first started, I want to say we shot 10 TikToks a day and posted 5 TikToks every single day for a whole year, and we seen massive growth. But we did that for a whole year consistently without missing a day, not even one day. I mean, I think we posted like 380 days for the year, to be honest. So we overworked ourselves a lot because we knew our ultimate goal was to be where we are today. And we're still not where we are, and I feel like we've never been content with where we are right now. We never celebrated anything that we've achieved so far because we really want to get bigger and better. So
I would say the second tip is really choosing a niche. Yeah. If you try to go on social media and post about your life, people want to be able to say, oh, remember that girl who posted about her makeup that one day? But then the next day, maybe you're doing dance. And it's like, what do you want to be recognized for and what do you want to be known for? Because that's what's really going to take you to the next level. If people can recognize you for especially doing one thing. I think once you create a name for yourself, you can start to branch out and do more things, which is what we're doing now. But in the beginning, try to be known for something specific. And I think the third tip for success is really being relatable. You know, you don't want to go out there and try to make content that no one can relate to, because at the end of the day, there won't be engagement there. Yeah.
Okay, those are 3 really great tips. And my next question is, I feel like a lot of people who use online platforms forget that like people are real on the other side of the screen. And so as you have like grown on this journey, how has your like relationship changed, like as a real life couple with real life emotions, not just, you know, on YouTube? So what have you guys, you know, learned along the way and the skills you've developed together?
Just realize that, you know, it's me and you, almost like against the world, like right. Bonnie and Clyde type stuff.
Yeah, we work together every day, so it's like, you know, you can't be fighting all the time. And I feel like our relationship is really good because we communicate well with each other, you know, so that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think communication is key, and when you start making videos and you realize someone's strengths and weaknesses, you can kind of pick up where maybe they lack. Like for instance, I edit all of our videos. He'll try to edit and I'd be like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, she'd be like, nah, that's horrible. Be like, all right, cool, take care of it. But what she can do, I do, right? So I make sure that I'm picking up my slack as well. So.
And then we also see each other every single day, every hour, every minute, every second. So it's not like we're working our 9-to-5s like we used to, and we didn't get to spend as much time with each other because we had working lives, right? Yeah. And now we're together every second. So he is my best friend.
And I feel like now I'm really happy that a lot of Toronto influencers and content creators are building, and our community is really showing out. And so who do you guys like look up to, or who would you love to like collaborate with on a video in Toronto?
That's a really good question. I think from Toronto specifically, I don't know if you've heard of them, the Rush family.
Yes, yeah.
They started as a couple, and they branched out to do family content, which I think is so important because you don't want to stay stagnant forever on the platforms. And I mean, if we could ever collab with them, that would be awesome, but they're kind of just out there now. I think they're in, where are they at now?
I think Miami or Florida.
Yeah.
But we don't really know a lot of Toronto couples that are doing the same thing as us. I feel like a lot of people are growing now and trying new things, which is really good, but I feel like Toronto in itself is not really a lot of people doing what we do. So it's pretty hard to find other couples that are really doing it like that. I mean, there is other couples, actually, Ika and Dem. They're really good, they're lit. Shout out to them. So definitely there'll be some people we would love to collab with as well. So.
Yeah, okay. That's right. I'd love to see some collabs coming in the near future. And I know it's like a collective feeling that we're all kind of tired and annoyed with Instagram and TikTok, and so much all the time. And so how do you like make the most of it? And like, if anybody from Instagram is listening somewhere around here, what are some like improvements you would say that could be made to improve the platform and improve like your experience and the audiences?
I think for starters, whenever you're dealing with a platform, I think your content is pushed out to wherever you're living. And I think with that, it can sort of hold you back. For instance, with TikTok, your For You page is filled with people from your city, your area. But to be able to get that out to the masses, I think that's really important. So I think that's where that lacks sometimes. So for instance, when we were in LA, we were getting a whole bunch of people from LA on our For You page, and our content was booming because it got out to a different audience. And so also funding. I think because there's no creator fund for Canadians on TikTok right now, I know they say they're working on it, it just kind of holds creators back. And so while we've been very consistent with TikTok and Instagram, we would like to see more funding in those areas, for sure.
Definitely. So if anybody heard that, let's make that happen. Yeah.
I mean, although those platforms don't have funding, there's brands that'll reach out, right? And they'll be like, we want to pay you for, talking about our product, which is great, but I think if TikTok and Instagram as a platform were to do that, and we didn't have to rely on brands to sort of give you motivation to keep creating content, that would be a blessing.
Yeah, but I also think a key is don't even worry about the money. Like we did it for a whole year, 2 years now without making a dollar, but we did it because of the bigger picture, right? So you kind of want to just really drive yourself to do that every single day if you have a goal to reach, no matter what, the money or not, right?
Okay, those are very, very, very good words. I think, yeah, just keep pushing. You said consistency, which is important as well, yeah. And so besides YouTube, on your downtime, what do you enjoy doing on a regular day, Sunday? What are you waking up and doing?
Okay, I love watching movies and films because, I'm into acting. He'll fall asleep
all the time.
and I beg him to stay up and watch things with me. But we're doing that. We're hanging out with family because we have so much time to hang out with family. And if I could, every day I'd be traveling.
You can't leave out taking pictures. She loves taking photos. I'm her photographer, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then doing things like this. I think being able to speak to people like yourselves, people who probably want to create content or are creating content and want to get their content out there, being able to speak to people who have been doing it, and just sharing your experiences and what you've been through and what you're trying to do is so important because we truly feel that there's not so much of this in Toronto as a whole. So being able to speak today is really a blessing. We went to LA and they were having things like this every day.
All the time.
Every minute. And I think we need more of that here, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This is just the beginning, I feel. So more to come for sure. And so you guys gave some really, really good advice earlier. But for anybody who wants to do what you guys are doing, take on social media, take on content creation, what's like the #1 tip you would give them overall, considering, all factors, hey, the love, the consistency, the, multiple platforms? What is your #1 tip that grounds you?
I would say just believe in yourself. A lot of people told me, laughed at me, a lot of my friends who are no longer my friends or people I know, when I decided to start YouTube. You'll never be anything in YouTube, why you want to do YouTube, all this stuff. I would tell them they're come to me and be like, what are you doing nowadays? I'll be like, I'm just trying to do YouTube. And they'll laugh at that as a joke. I always believed in myself, and I think that's the main thing. People are not going to take what you want to do serious or believe in your own goals. So always believe in your goals. Don't worry about what other people have to say. Be consistent, even if it's not working. Keep pushing, because to be honest, there was a time, like I said, a whole year when we were doing this, it was never working. She thought about giving up, and I said, no, we gotta keep pushing through because it's gonna happen one day. We just gotta wait, we gotta keep being consistent, no results. And we did that for a whole year consistently, no results, no nothing. until one day it worked. And you never want to be that close to your dream and you give up, right? So keep pushing.
And I would say if you can't treat your social media platform like a 9-to-5 job, don't start yet.
Right.
I think you have to go in it with the mentality of, I'm gonna post all of the time and bombard you guys with content because I wanna get my name out there.
Even if you're working a 9-to-5, like I said, we were working 9-to-5 before. She would get home at 7 o'clock, I'll get home at 6. She'd be like, oh, I wanna eat. And I'm like, no, we don't got time to eat. We gotta grind right now. And we would literally do that every day and go to bed at 3 a.m. to wake up back at 6 a.m. To go to work, and we did that every single day, so, yeah.
Yeah, so consistency and believing yourself is key.
Definitely. And last question before we take some audience questions. But before you mentioned that you guys have reached so much success, but you're not all the way there yet. So, you know, what's to come, what's next? Any new platform takeovers, any new content series ideas? Let us know what we can expect going forward.
I'm glad you asked that because we're actually working on something right now. So I know that we started off with couples content and just doing YouTube and more like reality content. Now we're working on short films.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we're having a fun time with that. And then of course we started channels for his family members. I'm trying to get my family members on the bandwagon, but it's kind of hard. I think in the future I'd love to create more channels, and not just with family, like anyone who's interested in content creation and is serious and is driven to, you know, be out in the content creation world. I think that's what we would want to move to, just to be able to inspire and, you know, put on for Toronto.
All right, that is very cool. And I guess one last question, just following up off that short film. What skills have you taken from like social media and content creation and brought that into the film world?
So much, to be honest. When you create content, you have something called analytics, and it will literally show you, you know, this audience watched for this amount of time, and they fell off here in the video because it wasn't as interesting. So I think you get to see and learn what people are interested in, and you continue to create content that will be relatable.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You learn what people like, and you kind of like bring that to the table, right? So, yeah.
That's very cool. I'm very excited to see what this short film looks like, so we'll be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I guess we'll open to the floor
on the platform.
And I tell people all the time, like without her, like we wouldn't be where we are today because she sacrifices, I want to say at least 5 to 7 hours a day on just editing by herself, so, yeah.
That was a great question.
YouTube University is the way to go. And I guess to elaborate on that, do you wanna, you mentioned Final Cut Pro, but elaborate on specific programs you use, like maybe free programs or easy to use programs for people who are just starting out?
Yeah, I mean, if you shoot videos on, let's say, your iPhone, I know they have iMovie.
They got iMovie.
That you can use.
Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
But we've always, very expensive, but you gotta sacrifice for your dreams, right? So.
But iMovie is free.
iMovie is free, so you can start on there, and
Someone in the audience, Kiss K, she's like, it's trash.
yeah.
What were you gonna say?
DaVinci's free.
The DaVinci. Okay, yeah, that's a good one too. And I think, you know, if you want to invest in your craft, just like how you invest into going to school, like if you went to school to be a doctor or went to school to be a lawyer, you have to treat it the same, and really put funding behind yourself. Yeah.
All right, any other questions?
Also, there's editing on Apple. If you finesse it and say education plan, you don't have to be in school for it. So you can get.
So thumbnails, in the beginning, I used Photoshop and I learned how to do it. So that's what I was doing when she was editing. I was learning how to do our thumbnails. I did that for a whole year. You can see the difference between how they look now and how they look
big difference, guys,
today.
Big difference.
But eventually we were able to outsource, and I have a thumbnail personal editor that edits all my thumbnails for me. But while she's editing, I do all the other tasks in the house, cooking, making sure everything is good, because again, like I said, she's basically the spine behind everything. So I take care of all the other stuff well.
He's being humble. He's studying every platform every single night, saying, look what I found, this is so sick. Maybe we should try this. And he'll come to me with multiple ideas. And I think that's what's important too. If you have a platform, you have to be studying the platform, just like how you study for any regular exam. And so he does a lot of that, whereas I'm taking up most of my time working on editing and whatnot, but he'll do a lot of the brainstorming. Yeah.
Your partner manager, Yasmin, says hi.
Chandra said hello.
That's
She's
awesome.
the best. We love Yasmin.
Hello, Yasmin. She's our favorite.
Yeah, she's awesome. She said the same about y'all. So. I just have a couple of questions. They're related, but the first is like, what more could YouTube do to support you all as creators? And the more specific, the better. And then the second thing is, when you think about like what it would take for you all to continue to build your business in the way that you want to, what are the things that you need to learn or the resources that you need access to that YouTube could be helpful in facilitating? Thank you.
That is a great question. Were you going to say something?
I'll just say, like, an example, how you just mentioned YouTube partner manager. We recently got that this year, and I feel like there's so many questions that Yasmin, who's our partner manager, was able to answer for us that we didn't have an opportunity before, and just help us understand, you know, what's right, you know, what's bad to post. So just having somebody to speak with, I feel like talking to the chat is not enough. It's just having somebody to actually talk about when you have a problem and being able to solve that issue.
I would definitely say one improvement YouTube could possibly make is, let's say the audience is watching one of our videos and they tag us in something and they, you know, we can see that they haven't hit the like button. And we're like, hey, why did you hit the like button? That's gonna support us and help us tremendously. And they're like, oh, you know, I forgot. And so I feel like if YouTube had the capability maybe to remind the audience, like, hey, did you watch this video and did you enjoy it? And had that function where they could say, yes, I enjoyed it, and then it just automatically hit that like button. That would help tremendously.
Not because a lot of people don't know, but one of the biggest things is that like button on YouTube. That is really what drives your videos to get in the algorithm, gets recommended. So if somebody's coming to your video every single day, I feel like they should be subscribed or be automatically hit that like button, just that it will help you grow, because that's really what it takes. If you're hitting likes, then the algorithm is understanding that your video is liked, so they're gonna push it. If your people are watching your videos and they're not liking it, your video won't go anywhere. And that's one of the main things I think YouTube can help with.
And I think you had a second part to your question, but I did forget it. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, so if you think about like just building your business beyond YouTube, what are some of the things that you are interested in and you support with to be able to do that YouTube could also?
Yeah, I think Yasmin had mentioned this to us before about, you know, YouTube being able to help you create short films. And I forget what that program is called right now, but I think, you know, even setting up something like a studio where you can go and film your own short film and be able to post that with YouTube's help and support behind you, that would be amazing. Because YouTube is such a huge platform and they inspire so many people, and there's so much power behind YouTube. So I think if they're able to help you create content to post on their platform, that would be huge. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Chantel, and you already know we bigging up Worldwide Entertainment TV. You done know. Big shout. Call me. It's real. I have bars. I got bars. You don't know. I got bars.